Hello, my name is Marty Jolly, and I'm the Director of Nursing from Dakota Abilities. I want to take some time and talk to you about what a tracheostomy is. An ostomy of any sorts is a hole that's placed into the body. A tracheostomy is a hole that's placed into the trachea. For some reason, at one point in time, a person's airway became blocked, or there was some reason that they couldn't breathe normally. And so some sort of medical professional created a new airway in that person's trachea so that they could breathe in and out without issue. What I'm going to show you now is how this looks when the process is impeded for a person and what's going on for the need of a tracheostomy to be placed. As we can see in our medical mannequin here, if a person ends up needing a tracheostomy, it's because something went wrong in that upper airway. It could be that it got swollen and swelled to the point where it was completely closed. The tongue could swell to the point where it's blocking the airway, or there could be some other issue that's causing a blockage up above. So then the physician will go in and create a new opening between the second and third tracheostomy ring. When that opening is placed, it's basically a hole that's made into there. And then what they're going to do is take a device that's basically like a straw. It's open all the way through the middle, and that is placed into that hole and helps maintain the airflow from the outside world into the lungs and helps the body expel it back out. So without this, that hole or that incision that was created, that ostomy site, would begin to try to close on its own. So the device has to be left in place to keep that site open so that person can continue to breathe. So that's all it is. It is as simple as a straw that's placed into that person's trachea to help them keep breathing and keep their airway open. There are times when a person will have a tracheostomy placed and the issue up above in the airway that was causing the problem will resolve itself and the tracheostomy can be removed and the site can close up. There are other times when the person will need that tracheostomy for the rest of their lives. If you're supporting someone with a tracheostomy, I don't want you to be afraid of it. I want you to realize that it is literally just a straw that's allowing them to breathe in and out just like the rest of us do. But the problem is, their body recognizes that that straw is not supposed to be in their airway, and the body gets mad about it. So then the body builds up mucus and other things to try to tell it to get out of there. You're not supposed to be here. So then this person ends up with a lot more mucus in their airway. And that's something that sometimes caretakers, it can bother them. But really, the only thing we need to do is if that person has that building up, we just need to tell them to cough and expel that mucus out. They can't help it. It's happening because their airway dislikes that device being placed in there. They don't have any control over it. And we just need to help them get it out. As a DSP or a support professional taking care of someone with a tracheostomy, it's important to know if you see any signs that that person is having trouble breathing, you want to encourage them to cough. It could be because something is getting in the middle of that airway and is keeping them from breathing in and out fully. At that point, you want to encourage them to cough deeply. If they're unable to do that, you want to get a medical professional, one of the nurses that's working with you, to come in, and that nurse can potentially suction that to open that airway back up. But coughing is going to be the first thing that we're going to want that person to do to try to open up the airway. So if the person looks like they're anxious, if they're looking at you like they need help, they're trying to cough and it's not working, get help. And then come and encourage that person to cough while you're waiting for the help to arrive. The other thing to know about the tracheostomy is that if you're moving that tube around, that can be uncomfortable for that person. So you always want to be careful when you're helping them with daily cares to make sure that you're not bumping that unnecessarily and causing that person discomfort. It's normal for that person, whenever the nurse is doing cares on that site, for that person to cough because it is going to irritate that person's site. Some of the other risks for this person are that because they're not breathing in through their nose, they can have more bacteria that can get directly into their airway. So they are more at risk for respiratory infections than other people. Once again, minimize movement or touching of the site. Try not to be bumping that when you're helping that person with cares. Encourage them to cough throughout their day. If you see any signs that they're having trouble clearing any mucus out on their own, get a hold of the nurse. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video.